Now, underpinning all of our themes, of course, is Vision Matauranga. So it's my pleasure now to invite Professor Angus Macfarlane, Professor of Māori Research at the University of Canterbury, to talk to us about our Vision Matauranga in terms of guiding us in the work for the challenge. Kia ora.
Kia ora no tātou. This is quite a huge undertaking and a big one for the country, and it's a role that can be quite demanding but immensely rewarding, and I think we saw some of that today. I have a few slides, but I want to start off by saying that Vision Matauranga is more relative rather than absolute. You can't say that you can have this much Matauranga Māori. It depends on context and content. So every context is different. The fact that we're having this hui here today doesn't worry me that it's a vineyard. I actually quite like it. And I referred to it in my opening statement as a wāhi mātauranga, a place of learning. And the content has been really outstanding because we've heard some people debating the themes, debating what's in the themes. There's been some polite discussion and some skill discussion and some dialogue, and all that has to be commended. So I think Vision Matauranga, Unlocking Māori Potential, is largely about refining our understandings and clarifying our theoretical bases, and then also to reposition the emphasis. And the emphasis has in the past been mainly on Western science and what Vision Matauranga has brought, and Vision Matauranga has been around for a little while now. It's brought another imperative into the mix, and it's all for the good, I think. I'll also refer to some really good statements that were made earlier on, and Rawiri mentioned growing the team, and one Māori is not enough. So I'm proud of the fact that in most instances, Vision Matauranga is being taken so seriously that the teams are growing, and you have quality researchers there as well. Leonie mentioned the Minister focusing on specific and focused response or responses, and mentioned the colonial impact over 200 years. And she was highly justified in making that statement, because it challenges us to always think about the impositions that Māori had to absorb over that time. But I think we can still be specific and focused in our responses, whether it be on earthquakes, big data, literacy, whatever the case may be. And it is a hard road. No one said it was going to be easy. I think it was Justine who used the beautiful whakatauki, he moana puke puke e eke ngia e te waka. A choppy sea can be navigated. That's what I mean by the relativity rather than the absoluteness of Vision Matauranga. So, just look at the two words, vision, to envisage, to look forward, to consider new possibilities. And again, if we were to reflect on the amazing projects that are being carried out all over the place, we're seeing that. We're seeing people looking forward and then considering new possibilities, but with different levels of Vision Matauranga or Matauranga Māori, and that's fine. The Matauranga word is beautiful. It's about knowledge and to know, and to be a knowledgeable person. But again, it's relative. So Vision Matauranga then, to envisage knowledge, to think about new ways of doing things, and to find answers and to solve problems. So Vision Matauranga is a significant and important imperative for MB and many other ministries, then we need to take note of that significance. MB goes on to say that Māori success is New Zealand success, and my good friend Russell Bishop has been saying things similar to that for a number of years. We raise the achievement of Māori students, and the gains accrue quite widely. Unlocking the science and innovation potential of Māori knowledge. So we have to ask ourselves, how much do I know about Te Ao Māori? Am I aware of those values and principles that are paramount in understanding the Māori world, Te Ao Māori? And no one knows everything. We all know a bit, and if we need to know more about Vision Matauranga and Matauranga Māori, we're in a space now that provides that opportunity. The Vision Matauranga policy draws on the science and innovation of Māori knowledge and Māori resources and Māori people. I think that's very, very significant, because in the past, Māori knowledge was thought to be primitive, inferior, nonsensical, and not really worth it. And the new settlers actually ingrained that in Māori from long ago. And while you're at it, the new settlers assumed or proposed, you can stop speaking the language. But we're bringing you another set of knowledges from another part of the world. You'll be better off for that, and you'll like it. So it's turned, the axis has turned, and we're now saying, as Mason Jury did 21 years ago, on the North Shore of Auckland at a conference that I was at, when he said that Māori knowledge has an integrity of its own. Very, very powerful statement. So MB, full credit to MB, they have embedded the Vision Matauranga policy across all priority investment areas and themes. So embedding it in policy and implementing it in practice are two different things. But already today, we've seen that many, if not most, of your projects are very, very loaded with criticality, wonderful research, and an adept approach to cultural responsiveness. But as I said, there's still, for all of us, a lot more to learn. So so there's various ways: indigenous innovation, the environment, hauora, and mātauranga, and we can work around all of those. So giving effect to the Vision Matauranga through a better start. And we've heard enough today, but we'll continue to hear more about the three themes that reign in terms of this challenge. The tai ao, I'm not sure if how many of you have heard of the triple P that underpin sometimes, and it's very much a business model. And the triple P is about profit, planet, and people. And usually the profit part is the largest. So we're not about profit. We're about profit for people, and we're about profit for the planet. But I'd rather have the other three Ps that come from the Treaty of Waitangi about partnership and protection and participation. So that's a really important factor as well, as far as I can ascertain. As I come to the end of my time and we get to the braided rivers approach. It's an approach that was introduced around about 2008, 2009, when we wrote a report for the government, a commissioned project on children with conduct disorders. And Unfortunately, at that time, the research approach that was adopted was almost entirely from a Western lens. And I happened to go on onto that group of superb researchers, and I learned so much from them. But it was bereft, if you like, of Māori knowledge. And how we came to an agreement and how our friendship even grew and lasted was to say, why don't we adopt both? You need not have one without the other. Because if we take the best from Western science and pay genuine acknowledgement and use the Māori knowledge from Te Ao Māori, that stream, then you can braid in and out. There are times when one is going to be more dominant than the other, and that's fine too. But the model is likely to be, it's there to be supportive of people's approaches. This is my final slide because the red lights come up. So implicit in the Vision Matauranga contentions are that the topic of research being a strategic priority for Māori. And again, today, we've seen evidence of that. The research team having explicit linkages to the connections with Māori individuals or groups. I think of all the slides, this is the most important one. That traditional or contemporary Māori processes are incorporated into the research processes. But how do we do that? And isn't it a big ask to ask non-Māori to know about Te Ao Māori? But is it a fair ask? And can we all get there if we scaffold in our processes? The ability to project and support Māori development, including the Māori workforce. The protection of Māori rights, including those to cultural and tribal. The research informs opportunities to reduce and eliminate the inequities. And conversely, the research informs opportunities to enhance ethnic realities. So just a couple more observations. How do we introduce it? You introduce it with people who know about Te Ao Māori and who can scaffold and who can support. But the process is like the model introduced about the revitalisation of Māori language by Poia Rewe and his wife Tangiwai, and also Rāwinia Higgins. And they introduced the Zipa model of Māori language revitalisation. It means you have zero knowledge, or you have passive, or you have active. That's where you get the Zipa. Zero, passive, active. So the braided rivers approach is a model that's quite akin to the model put forward by Poia and Tangiwai. It's about repositioning, and what they talk about is small steps. A left step is you're going in the wrong direction. A right step is you're going in the right direction, and they can be just small steps, so it's incremental. So if you don't know about Vision Matauranga now, as much as you would like about Vision Matauranga now, be assured that if we take the Zipa model and take small steps to the right and then become more active, then we're on the right path. Nā reira, e rau rangatira mā, ka nui te mihi atu ki a koutou katoa.